Okay, we're now at example 6 on section 2.3 on lines. Find the equation of a line given 2 points. Okay, our last equations were, or examples were to find the equation of a line given the slope and a point, but now we don't have the slope. All we have are 2 points. If you have just 2 points that determine the line, right, that's all you need to determine a line, you can write an equation for that line, just knowing 2 points. How would we do it though? Well, we know we can use y minus y1, the point slope form, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1 if we have a point and the slope, but we don't have the slope. We have enough information to get the slope though, don't we? We have the 2 points. We can use y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 and get the slope. Then we'll come back to this equation using one of the points. Both would work. We just need one. All right, let's find out what our slope is. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 4 minus 1 is 3. And 7 minus negative 2 would be the same as 7 plus 2, or 9. So our slope is 1/3. We want to simplify that, right? Okay, so now we have 2 points in the slope. We'll just use one. I'm just going to use the first one, but you could do it with the second one and see if you get the same thing that I get. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Y minus 1 equals 1/3 times x plus 2. Y minus 1 equals 1/3 x plus 2/3, distributing the 1/3. And then we have to add 1 to both sides, and we get y equals 1/3 x plus 2/3 plus 1. You can use your fraction key on the calculator. You should get 5/3. Okay, there is our slope-intercept form. But now we need to get it in general form. Let's see if I can fit that in right here. So to get it in general form, the x and the y have to be on the same side. So I'll subtract 1/3 x from both sides and put the x term first. So I have negative 1/3 x plus y equals 5/3. Okay, so I have my ax plus by equals c, but a, b, and c are not all 3 integers. So I have to do what to make sure that they're all integers? If I clear the equation of fractions, they'll be integers. To clear the equation of fractions, multiply both sides of the equal sign by the least common denominator. And the only denominator is 3, so I'm going to multiply 3 times 3 times 3. 3 times negative 1/3 would be negative 1. 3 times y would be 3y. 3 times 5/3 would be 5. And you know, you could multiply by negative 3 if you like, and then the signs would all change here. If you just want your x to be a positive number, it doesn't matter. Okay, so here's slope-intercept form and our general form. Okay, example 7, identify the slope and the y-intercept of a line given its equation. Now they're going to give us an equation, and we're to find the slope and y-intercept. We have x plus 2y equals 8. To get it in slope-intercept form, I need it to be solved for y. First, I'll subtract x. 2y equals negative x plus 8. And then I need it to say y equals, so I'll divide by 2. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. I took negative 1 and divided it by 2. I want that separate. I'm not going to write negative x over 2 because I need to know what my slope is separately. So instead of writing negative x over 2, I'm going to write negative 1/2 times x, okay, plus 4, 8 divided by 2. So it said to write the equation in slope-intercept form. We've done that. Find the slope. The slope is negative 1/2, and b is 4. Now graph using this information. Go to my y-intercept, that's my starting point, crossing the y-axis at 4. And I have a slope of negative 1 over 2. That means down 1 to the right 2. Down 1 to the right 2. I can do it again, down 1, to the right 2. Notice we have a negative slope, and the line is going downward, left to right. There we go. Okay, example 8. We're to graph the equation negative 2x minus 3y equals negative 6 using intercepts, and then find a third checkpoint. Remember I said I could get 2 points, but if one of them's wrong, I'd never know. But if I get a third and they all line up, then I feel pretty good about it. So we're going to let y equals 0 to find the x-intercepts. So negative 2x, and I'm not going to plug in 0. You guys know by now that just eliminates that y term by putting in 0. So I'd have negative 2x equals negative 6, right? And divide both sides by negative 2. X is 3, so the x-intercept is the point 3, 0. Let's let x equal 0 now. And when I plug in 0 there, that x term just goes away, and I have negative 3y equals negative 6. Divide by negative 3, y equals 2. So I have the point 0, 2. And it says now to find a third point. So that's, I'm going to try to find something that I'll end up with integers to graph. Sometimes you get fractions as you just choose x's and y's. But let me just say, let's let x be negative 3. I know when x is positive 3, y is 0. What happens when x is negative 3? So this is my checkpoint. X is negative 3, so negative 2 times negative 3 minus 3y equals negative 6. So that is positive 6. And if I subtract 6 from both sides, I get negative 3y equals negative 12. Divide both sides by negative 3, and I get y is 4. So when x was negative 3, y was 4. Let's plot these 3 points. X is 3, y is 0. X is 0, y is 2. And x is negative 3, and y is 4. And it does look like they line up. So my checkpoint has confirmed that I found the correct intercepts.